Hello, I'm Mike Richardson, and I'm looking forward to being with you for your leadership session in Baltimore in early April. Celeste and Michael invited me to come along and spend a couple of hours with you to start your first day and to do a deep dive into this topic of agility. There's nowhere better I like to be than in a room full of very smart engineers and very smart people. I'm an engineer myself. I took a different path and I became a petroleum engineer and then got into the aerospace business and climbed the ladder and ended up running the aerospace division of a British public company that you've probably never heard of called Spirent PLC. And when I joined the company, we were number 250 in the pecking order of British public companies, and we went on a wild ride to become number 100. We actually made it into the FTSE 100. As you can tell, I'm English and American now. No room I'd rather be in than a room that does a lot of aerospace and defense and other such things as you do. Systems integration, technology platforms, and a team such as yourself that has really reached the pinnacle of performance excellence. Whether we call that Six Sigma, ISO, Total Quality Management, Lean, or at the pinnacle, congratulations on your 2017 Malcolm Baldrige Award. That's just phenomenal. And you're obviously an incredibly capable team, and the most capable teams always recognize that it's still not enough. This is about the best always striving to get better. And so what we're going to do is we're going to sort of reach inside Lean. We're going to reach inside the Baldrige Award framework, and we're going to grab that agility piece that's inside there, and we're going to turn everything inside out, and we're going to look at that same body of wisdom, but this time through an agile lens. Because all corporations are pivoting to agile more and more and more these days. It isn't just startups, it's large corporates and everything in between. And the reason why they're pivoting to agile is this thing called VUCA. We all live in an increasingly VUCA world. The volatility, the uncertainty, the complexity, and the ambiguity of business these days is coming at us thicker and faster than ever before. And just look at the volatility we've seen in the stock markets in the last few days. Look at the volatility we've seen with oil prices in the last few years, 5 to 10 years in particular. Look at the political VUCA that we're experiencing these days, not just here in the States, but in the UK with Brexit, and of course globally in other ways as well. So we'll take a look at this agility thing, because we live in this increasingly VUCA world, and how do we pivot to an even more agile approach? Clearly you are agile today to a very good degree, otherwise you wouldn't have been as successful as you are. This is about how do you take your agility from good to great, and how do you pivot to a more agile approach as leaders, as a team, as an organization, with your business model and the migration of your business model over time, with your innovation, of course, and not least of all when you add all of that up with your enterprise agility. So we'll interrogate all of these different layers of agile and what it takes to have the agility you need at all of those different layers simultaneously. And we'll really help you understand what is it going to take for you to take your agility to the next level. You have one little bit of homework to do, which is laid out below, not least of all including the VUCA report. So I invite you to go over to that link to follow the instructions that I provided below. Use the organizational name Stellar, and if you can all use that in a very consistent way, then we'll be able to give you a segmented data set for your organization compared with the total data set, to look at the VUCA that you are experiencing these days, and also to look at the 15 agile capacities and capabilities that it takes these days, and see how you score. And we'll use that data set in our session when we're together. So we're going to look at VUCA, we're going to look at agility, and then we'll look last of all at the real core of it all, which is how do you develop a culture of agility, even more than the culture, this great culture you already have. How do you weave agility into that even more for a culture of agility? And inside of that, how do you have the accountability that you need for that agility? And how do you be willing to hold each other accountable even more than you already do for that agility that you need, you know you need to take your game onwards and upwards to an even better level than you have today. This will be about the best getting even better with even more agility than you already have. I look forward to being with you in Baltimore. I'll see you then.